Today we're going to be looking at changing out the tensioner pulley in our 6.7 Cummins. Some tools you're going to need for this. Obviously you're going to need a 1/2-inch drive to remove the tension off your belt. Remove that serpentine belt. You're also going to need a 8mm screw, 8mm ratchet to take off your airbox screws. I've already done this partially. I really don't even disconnect these electrical connections. You can pop this off, just lay it over on the hood out of the way, and be careful not to hurt anything. Already removed my filter. After that, you're going to need to remove a 13mm bolt that'll hold the bottom of the housing in. Once that has been removed, go ahead and pull this air box out. There are 2 pins that kind of press through the bottom of the box that hold it down, so you might have to kind of wiggle it, pull on it a little bit, and then don't forget to pull this back out of the way so you can get it out. I'll go ahead and remove it now. On the bottom of the box, it does have an electrical connection, so be careful. I'm just going to lay this out of the way once again. I already pulled the tension off the belt, but as you can see, you have to pull it off. Down here at the bottom, there's going to be a 13mm bolt. Get a long-handled wrench, and that'll probably do it. Just take your time. Don't hurt anything. Be careful of the fan so you don't scratch yourself too bad. After removing the 13mm bolt, go ahead and pull out the tensioner. And we'll just start to reverse the same process. Now some guys will tell you, you got to take this whole fan shroud off and go get you a fan puller and a pulley holder, but you don't have to do that. Save you a lot of time. Just when you install this, put your bolt partially the way through there. You will need 2 hands, but it'll save you a lot of time versus pulling that whole shroud off. Now after about 10 seconds, I already got it installed and I'm running that nut down. Don't forget on the back though, you do have a dowel pin that's going to locate that on the bracket to make sure it's in correctly. And don't forget to double check that your serpentine belt's where it needs to be before you fully bolt that thing down in case you need to reroute it again around some pulleys. Right about the same time I was explaining that, make sure you get your serpentine belt on. I put the part on and it had slipped below the pulley. So see how it rides just on top of that pulley? Make sure you get it on there and get your dowel pin located, and then go ahead and run that bolt back down. Since that bolt is kind of tricky to get down there, one of your things could be your best friend. It's going to be a long handled 13mm, probably ratchet wrench, or if nothing else, at least a long handle to break that thing loose, and hopefully a ratchet wrench to keep it spinning. Not a lot of room to get in there with a ratchet, so do the best you can. Well, now you just put your belt back on. I find it easiest to get to the tensioner with that 1/2-inch drive from down below, and I just pull that lower air compressor pulley off. It seems like when I do the alternator one up here, I'm fighting my room right here for my wrench to get in there to pull the tension off. So if I do it from the bottom, underneath the truck, it's a whole lot easier. Give it a try, fellas. After that, all we're gonna do is just put our box back in. That one 13mm bolt that'll go right there, holding it down. Those are the 2 little bushings down at the bottom you press your pins into that are at the bottom of the box. They look like that. There's 2 of them. So just press that down, that one retaining 13mm, put your air filter back in, then use your 8mm and hook up your duct, top of your stuff. Should be good to go. It's easy as that, fellas. Now here's a look at the old tensioner. If you can tell, by using this as a reference line, you can see how the wheel has been pulled to the side, and also it's wore down. That's one probably feature I don't like too much about these, is they don't ride very well on the wheel. That whole part to the left that's untouched, that's about how much it rides off to the side. But either way, that's what was throwing my belt. And you can go ahead and pull the fan shroud if you want to do this, but I'm telling you now, fellas, this will save you probably an hour's worth of work and just get straight to the meat of it, and you'll be good to go back on the road again.